at peace, stress free, let it be.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Ashley, and today we're going to be doing a project that I said I was doing a long time ago, and I've honestly just been putting it off because I'm kind of scared to do it. So it has definitely been a long while since I've sewed, but thankfully we're finally back with a sewing project, and this is one that I said I was going to do I don't even know how long ago, but I am basically going to be turning this Ed Hardy t-shirt. It's super cool. I'm going to be turning it into a corset top thing. So I'll show what it looks like on here in the next clip so that you can see it a little bit better. If you've seen any of my other sewing videos before, you know that I never use patterns. I'm just not a pattern person. I don't know. But I really don't want to mess this up because I really like this shirt. So I'm actually going to be using the corset pattern from Nava Rose. If you don't know who that is, I'll have her video linked down below where she made this really cool corset. So this should be a super cool thrift flip. I'm so excited. I love this shirt so much. I really hope I don't mess this up. But let me show you what the shirt looks like on, and then we can get started. So here's it on. It's just like really long. This is a size extra large, so it's pretty big on me, and it just has the cool design in the front and then the pink letters on both the front and the back. Okay, so I am super excited for this project. If you want to see how this t-shirt turned corset turns out, be sure to watch until the end. And if you like this video or you found it helpful, be sure to give me a thumbs up down below so that I know. And if you end up liking this video and you want to see more videos like this and from me, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss those. So I just want to give a quick disclaimer before we get started that this is my first time sewing a corset, so I don't know, do with that what you will. I'm not going to claim to be a professional corset sewer, but we're going to give this a try and hopefully it turns out great, because I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't. All right, let's get started. This is the last time we're gonna see this beautiful shirt. Let's just take it in for a second. Gorgeous. Okay, so here are the 3 pages of the corset pattern. I'll also have the link down below if I can, I guess, of the corset pattern. I don't know. So now we just have to cut it out and we can get started. One of my greatest downfalls is that I cannot cut in a straight line. But that's okay, I think it's straight enough. Ideally they would all be straight, but you know what, it's fine. You really can't even tell. So we have it all cut out, and now we're gonna figure out how to put it on the shirt. Oh my gosh, I really hope I don't mess this up. I'm so scared. So first I taped the pieces of the pattern together, the A pieces, and then I started putting it on the shirt and tracing it out in chalk to get an idea of where I wanted it. I did end up cutting the pattern because I wanted that Ed Hardy thing to be a part of the strap, and it wasn't going to be if I followed the pattern exactly. So I ended up cutting it off and just making it a separate thing that I would have to sew. And again, I'm just drawing it with chalk so that I can get an idea of how much of the t-shirt I'm going to use. I tried to use as much of the t-shirt as possible, so I'm using it for the lining and for the outside, obviously. And I felt that tracing it was a necessary step because I was really scared to mess it up. So that's what it looks like all traced out. I really did not want to mess this shirt up, so. So then I started cutting out the shirt. I started by cutting in half so that I had a front and a back piece, and I just cut along the side seams and also the seams on the shoulders and around the neck. And then I realized that I wanted to keep the original tag as well as the serial code tag, so I just seam ripped those out. And this is the original tag that I did that to. And again, I did it with the serial code tag, I just didn't show it. So then once I had my front and back of the shirt, I started cutting out the pieces of my pattern. I labeled them 1 and 2 so I knew which would be like the lining fabric and which would be the outside fabric. And then I realized I messed up because I really wanted this strap, that one that I just cut, not this one, the last one. And here's where I realized that I messed up because I forgot I had to fold it in half. So there was going to be a little piece of the like front main corset part missing. But I'm making it work. So here I'm just measuring where that's gonna go, and there I cut it out and you can see that little piece missing. I ended up just cutting that out from another piece of fabric by putting the pattern on there and figuring out which piece exactly I was missing, cutting a line there, and then later on I ended up cutting that out of the fabric. I don't think I showed it, but yeah, I just cut a little black piece of fabric to fit it in there. It pretty much worked out. So I'm just cutting and cutting and cutting. I did actually end up giving some of these seam allowance, like the rectangular pieces that go in the back, but I really didn't need to, just for advice. If you're small, this will probably fit you. And that is what I have. Those are all my pieces. So that is the outside part, and then this is the lining fabric right here. My goal was to make this reversible, so I was planning to do like pink stitches on this side, which I did do, but it just you'll see it later on. It didn't really work out too well. So I'm going to sew on this little piece, the piece that I mentioned I had accidentally cut wrong, and then these side seams right here. I'm going to sew all those on. I guess those are called like princess seams or something, I'm not sure. And I'm just sewing with the right sides facing together and the wrong sides out so that the seams are on the inside and you don't see them from the outside. So there's the front, and there is the lining piece of the like main corset front part, I guess. So next I'm going to sew these two back panels, the C pieces, I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to sew those on the same way with the stitches inside, and I'm going to do the front and also the lining. I don't think I mentioned this, but I'm doing a straight stitch for all of this. That's how they came out. You can't really see the stitches, so it doesn't really matter. I just really wanted to use a straight stitch, but a zigzag stitch probably would have worked well as well. I just wanted to do a straight stitch. So next I'm going to be sewing on the straps. So the bottom part of the strap I actually cut as a diagonal already, so that's fine. But then I also wanted to sew the other part of the strap diagonal as well, so it would like lay better, I guess. I don't know, that's what the Nava Rose did, I guess. So what I did was I took the bottom strap and then the top rectangle part, I put the top part perpendicular to the bottom part, and then I sewed along a diagonal. I thought I showed it better, but you can't really see it, but that's pretty much what it looks like. You should have a little like triangle at the bottom, and I just did that for both pieces, and here they are all sewn together. So then I took both of these pieces and put the right sides together and the wrong sides facing out, and then I'm just going to sew all along the top, so the sides, the straps, the neck, just all of the top. If you saw that, yeah, here I'm outlining it. Yeah, I'm sewing all of that. Again, just using a straight stitch and going pretty close to the edge. I think I left about a 1/4 inch seam allowance for all of it. And then I'm going through and cutting. If there's like a lot of excess fabric, I'm cutting that. But then I'm also cutting little slits around any like rounded edges, because I don't know, that's what Nava Rose did, and she said that it sits better when you flip it inside out. So that's what I did. And then I started turning it inside out. I do have a spaghetti strap turner, I just didn't want to go get it, so I just did it by hand, and it really didn't take that long. But that was the main part that I had to flip inside out. Once I had that all turned right side out, I figured out where I wanted the strap to go, which I actually could have made them a little bit shorter in hindsight. Lesson learned, they were a little bit too long, but that's okay. I figured out where I wanted that to go, and I also pinned all along the top because I'm going to top stitch along the top where I had just stitched it, if that makes sense. But now I'm top stitching it, different things. So that's what it looks like all pinned up, and then I head over to my sewing machine, and like I said before, I wanted to do a pink stitch on the lining side, so I just have pink thread in my bobbin and then just my black thread in my regular like thread area, so that it would be pink on the bottom and black on top. And again, I'm just using a straight stitch and going pretty close to the edge because this is a top stitch, so it's going to help everything lay nice and flat. Then I got this like boning stuff, which honestly I've never used boning before, so I was watching Nava Rose's video to figure out where she put the boning, how she made the boning channels, all that kind of stuff. This took a little bit. I tried pinning it, I tried drawing out in chalk, and I tried like measuring it with the boning, and it still didn't come out even, which is fine, but I did my best. I'll learn eventually. But I basically just did a straight stitch, 2 straight stitches next to each other to make boning channels, and I did 2 in the middle, 2 diagonal, and then I did 1 on each side like towards the back. So then I put the boning in, as you saw, and now I'm just bringing it out a little bit so that I can trim it so it doesn't like stick out at the bottom. And then I didn't want to use like bias tape or anything like that, so I'm seam ripping the bottom seams, and I'm just folding both the lining fabric and the front part inwards, and then I'm just going to top stitch along that, and that's going to be how I close it at the bottom. You can totally use like bias tape or ribbon or another piece of fabric or something, but I just wanted to do this because it's easy and I think it looks really like clean, and it doesn't cover up any of the design, which I think is important. So that's it all pinned up, and then I just did a nice little straight stitch, top stitch over that. So that is what we have so far. Now I'm going to put in the grommets. I think that's how you say that word, grommets. So I have these from Amazon. I guess they're good. And then I have this like braided rope drawstring kind of fabric that I got for something else, but I have a bunch of it left over, so I'm just going to use it for this ribbon thing. First I figured out where I wanted the grommets to go, and then I cut out little tiny holes, which some of them were a little bit too big. But yeah, and then I had to watch a YouTube video on how to install grommets, and that's how it came out. My neighbors hate me now because I was hammering for hours. It took way longer than that sped up part. Then I just measured out the string, cut it, and sewed the edges so that it wouldn't fray. And that's it. Okay, so here is the final product. There's the front, the back, the sides. There she is. So I am absolutely obsessed with the results from this thrift flip. I think this is one of my favorite thrift flips that I have ever done. I love this so much. I think the only thing that I would do differently is I did buy iron-on, what's it called? Interfacing. I bought like heat fusible interfacing. I wish that I had used that on this. I totally forgot that I bought it, but basically it would just make it like thicker because I only have like a t-shirt and a t-shirt, you know, on both sides. So it is just kind of like flimsy, and also like the boning is like ripping the t-shirt in some parts underneath. So yeah, that's the only thing that I would really do differently. That, and also I think I would make the straps a little bit tighter. Feels like they're just a little bit loose, but I mean, it's fine. It looks like it's supposed to look. But I think without the interfacing, it is super comfortable. Like, it still looks like a corset, but it is really comfortable. So I don't actually know if I would do it differently. I don't know. I think that would also help my issue here at the bottom where it's like a little bit wavy. If it had the interfacing, it probably wouldn't be like that because it would be like sturdier. I don't really know. This part is also sticking out just a little bit. It's not super noticeable, but like I noticed it. I don't know. It's not a big deal though. Overall, I am super, super happy with this thrift flip. I love the way that it came out. I am obsessed with this. I love it so much. I also really like that I was able to keep like the original tag and the original like serial number tag on it. I don't know, I think that was really cool, and it just, I don't know, I really like that feature of it. I did also mess up a little bit here where it says like slowly. I don't know if you could tell, but it's because I messed up. I said it in the thing, but when I was cutting it I messed it up. But I think it was worth it because I got these really cool like straps out of it that say Ed Hardy, so I mean, it was worth it. You can't really tell. I just wanted to add that this also could have been really cool because it could have been flipped inside out because I did the pink stitching on the other side, except for I'm just not good at sewing in a straight line, and you can like tell when you can see the stitching. And then also, like I said, the boning is like ripping parts of like the inside. And because I really wanted to keep the tags, they're like sticking out like right there. So you can't really reverse it, and also because the boning is like flipped this way, so it kind of like swoops out. I don't know, I mean, you can't really tell. But yeah, I don't know, it could have been also really cool, like kind of more basic, flipped inside out, but I messed it up. I don't know. I mean, you can't really tell unless you look at the stitching right here where I went over it like a million times, but if you don't look at that, you can't really tell. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be inside out, except for the tags, but you know, it's a new trend, don't worry about it. So that is it for this video. That is it for this tutorial. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make it as much as I enjoyed making it. It was a kind of frustrating process, but I definitely, the outcome is worth it. I enjoyed it so much. And it's always fun to try something new, and I've never tried to make anything like this before, so it was a lot of fun. Hopefully it was fun for you all to watch, and hopefully it inspired you to try to flip a t-shirt for yourself and make a super cute and trendy corset. I think you should try it. It's a lot of fun, and it's worth it because you get a really cute corset out of it. If you do try it and you like post a picture of it or something, tag me because I want to see how it comes out. I want to see how you do. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video or found it helpful, be sure to give me a thumbs up down below so that I know. And if you want to see more videos like this / from me, be sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I would love to have you here. I'm so happy with the way that this came out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. It's so cute.